Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Stampin' Up! Tutorial. So today I am excited to announce my second free card kit for the month of August. I am featuring the Free as a Bird stamp set. So this is from the annual catalog. I love this set. You've got some really cute images in here that you can color, which is a lot of fun to break out your Stampin' Blends, and then you've also got some really great sentiments in this set. So I'm so excited to share the free card kit that I've got for you to go along with it. But also, I want to remind you that the Free as a Bird stamp set is available in a bundle in my online store, and you can get the amazing stitched nested dies. I actually talked to you guys about these dies in my last video. I love these dies. They are fabulous. So you can get these two together as a bundle. When you get the bundle, you save 10%. So it's a great deal to get the stamp set and the dies together. Now you won't need the dies to complete the free card kit, but you might as well, if you're going to get the stamp set, go ahead and get the dies and grab that bundle if you do have some sort of a die cutting machine at home. So don't forget, to receive my free card kit, all you have to do is simply place a minimum $40 order before tax and shipping in my online Stampin' Up! Store, and make sure when you place your order that you use the host code that I have somewhere here on the screen for you. Just don't use that code if your order is going to be $150 or greater. You will still receive my free card kit, and you will earn Stampin' Rewards, so you don't want to miss out on those. And this kit will be available for all qualifying orders placed from August the 16th through August the 31st, 2019. So I have 3 beautiful cards for you, as well as one 3D project in this kit. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video, and I'll show you how to put together all of the projects included in my Free as a Bird free card kit. So here is that Free as a Bird stamp set up close. Love this, and I really love the mixed fonts in the sentiments. I love that. I'm a huge fan of that. So great set. So as I said, we've got 4 projects that we're going to make, 3 beautiful cards and 1 treat gift box. And your kit will include all of the consumable supplies that you need to make one of each of the projects, as well as envelopes and a PDF that has all of the measurements for each project. And I will have the full supply list in case you're wanting to purchase any of the products that you see me using today. I will have that full supply list in the video description, and also over on today's coordinating blog post. That's all linked down below. But remember, you can purchase whatever you would like with your $40 qualifying order. You can see I have die cut this piece of Whisper White here using those nested stitched dies that you can get when you purchase the Free as a Bird bundle. I'm going to go ahead and bring in some scratch paper because I am going to use my Stampin' Blends in just a second, and this will just help protect my work surface when I'm using the blends because they do bleed through. And I'm going to use Pool Party to stamp my sentiment for this card. So I'm going to stamp the "Your friendship means the world to me." I'm just going to test this. I just re-inked this, so hopefully I can stamp it right the first time. Okay, so bottom center for this sentiment. Ooh, that looks perfect. I've got Memento Tuxedo Black ink here, and I'm going to stamp the bird image. I love our new cling stamps. I love that you can put the images onto the blocks and they actually stick. It's so nice to see the image. It makes it so much easier for placement. And I'm going to stamp this just a little bit above that sentiment. And I'm leaving some blank space up here at the top because we're actually going to cut that off. So you don't want to stamp too high up. Make sure you give your Memento ink the chance to dry before you start coloring with your blends. So I am going to use dark and light Calypso Coral, as well as my dark shade of Daffodil Delight for the beak. So I'm going to go ahead and get my little bird all colored in, and I am going to start with I think I'm going to start with the dark. Got my bird all colored in, so now we can start putting together this card. So I have got a piece of Calypso Coral cardstock. This is for the card front or card base. Then I'm going to add on this piece of the Bird Ballad. I think it's called Bird Ballad. Yep, had to check my catalog. The Bird Ballad Designer Series paper. I'm going to add this on to the front. And we're just going to put that flat with a little bit of snail adhesive. Center it up. Okay, that looks good. Then I'm going to add some dimensionals. And you don't want to put them too close to the top, so I'm just going to put them right at the top of the bird, and then a couple down here at the bottom. Alrighty, and then we will flip that over, and I am going to add this right about here, maybe a little bit over. But I want the top to hang off the edge because we're going to cut that off. So I think I want it, yeah, I'm going to do it right there. Then I'm just going to bring in my paper snips and trim off this top piece. And there we go. That is the first card in the kit. Super simple, but this designer paper and then the colored in bird with the blends, it just looks so pretty. I love it. So I've got my pieces here for our second card. So I've die cut this piece of Pool Party cardstock using those stitched nested dies. And in basic gray ink, I am going to stamp my sentiment. And I'm stamping "The world needs more of you." Such a fantastic sentiment. So I'm just going to press and hold that. Whenever you're stamping on colored cardstock, I feel like you need to hold a little bit longer so that you get a really nice impression. There we go, that looks really good. Now I'm going to bring back my scratch paper because on this stitched circle here we are going to do a lot of stamping. So I'm going to start first with my Old Olive ink pad, and we are going to stamp this leaf image, and we're going to stamp it several times, and we're going to do some stamping off as well. So I'm just going to ink this up, and I am going to stamp off twice, and I'll go ahead and put one there. I love that you can get so many shades by stamping off. I'll do another one there, and then I'll do another one there. Okay, now I'm going to have my blender pen here ready because I'm going to stamp full strength this leaf image, and then I'm going to color it in by moving around that wet ink, and this is just going to add a nice bit of depth, having these layered leaves in different shades of Old Olive plus some filled in. I love that look. Okay, now I'm going to do that again, ink it up full strength, and I'm going to stamp right here. Again, come in and color that while the ink is wet, move it around. So I don't know what's inside of a blender pen, but it's magic stuff. So just move that around. And then we're going to do that one more time over here. Ink it up. Stamp full strength. Fill it in. And then to clean your blender pen, just do that a little bit, you're good to go. Now I'm going to leave this out because we're going to do it again with another image. So So now I've got some Daffodil Delight ink, and I'm going to take the small flower image and full strength Daffodil Delight. I am going to stamp, let's see, a flower there, and then I'm just going to color that in. And again, full strength there, color it in, and now I'm going to stamp off and do one here, stamp off and do one there. Now I've got Calypso Coral ink, and I am going to bring in this little piece of scrap paper that will be in your kit. So that's some Scrap Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp the larger of those flowers. Stamp that there. Whoop. And then I'm going to move the ink around with my blender pen. Not so pretty. Then I'm going to come back to my circle here, and I am going to stamp full strength here, and then stamped off there, color it in, this one on the right. And then with my paper snips, I am just going to come in and hand cut out this flower. Okay, so I've got that little flower all cut out, so now we can start putting together this card. So I have got a Whisper White thick card base here, and just don't forget all of the measurements will be in the PDF that comes with the kit. And then you've got this piece of Whisper White that has been embossed for you using the Pinewood Planks embossing folder. Hopefully you can see that. So I am going to add this on using liquid glue. Now, you don't have to use liquid glue. You could use another glue of your choice. I'm using liquid glue just because this is going to cover the front of the card. So I want to have a little bit of wiggle room, and wet glue allows me to move it around a little bit. So just line this up on the front. Just press that down. And then you've got this really nice embossed card front. I'm going to use some glue dots to add on the little flower that we hand cut out. And I'm thinking I'm going to want this little flower right there. Let me just make sure. Yep, I think that's good placement. So I'm going to put that there. And if you use the glue dots, it kind of helps still give it a nice lifted look so that it looks kind of dimensional. So I like that. So we're going to put that there, and then you've got some of this twine here. This is actually it's trim. This is the braided linen trim. So we are going to take this trim and add it onto the back of this little die cut here where our sentiment is. And I am going to add it to the back just using a dimensional edge piece so that I can just put it right across just like that. And then I will also add a couple of dimensionals on as well, but you don't have to, but I like having lots of stability here. And I just kind of pulled the ends just a little bit because I want this loop to be kind of small. I don't want it to be too big, and I'm gonna have this this die cut hang off the right side just a tiny bit here. So I think I'm going to add this right about there. That looks good. And then I'll do dimensionals on the back of this. Okay, and then I am going to pop this up on the front of my card right about there. Give it a press, and then I'm just going to trim this end down just a little bit, And there you have card number 2 finished. I love this card. So this was a lot of detail in the stamping, but the good thing is you have this video to come back to and stamp along with me. So love that. All right, let's jump into our third card. So I'm gonna bring in my scratch paper again because we are gonna do some coloring with the blends again. But first, on this little strip right here, I am going to stamp the sentiment. So in Pool Party ink, I am going to stamp this thank you. Let me make sure. Yep. And I'm going to stamp it not all the way over to the left. I'm gonna leave a little bit of room there, and I'll put it right about here. Okay, that looks great. So I've got my Memento Tuxedo Black ink again, and on this piece of Whisper White, which I have again die cut using those stitched nested dies, I love those, I am going to stamp this big lovely group of birds. So I'm just going to bring my ink pad to the stamp since it's so large and just twist, twist, tap, tap that ink on there. Get the middle really good. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this nice and centered onto my die cut, press and hold. Oh, looks so good. I'm going to start my coloring with the dark and light shade of Pool Party, and I am going to go in with the light first, and then I will do some shadowing with the dark on each of these little birds. Then with the dark and light shade of Old Olive, I'm going to come in and do my leaves. I'm going to start with the dark, then fill in and blend it all out with the light. Now with the light shade of Calypso Coral, I'm going to color in these little blossoms. And lastly, with the dark and light shade of Crumb Cake, I'm going to go ahead and color in the branch. I'll start with the dark, and then I'll go over it with the light. Okay, so our birds are all colored in. I think they look so cute. So now we can start putting together this card. So I have got a Pool Party card base here. I'm just going to fold this in half, give it a nice crease. Then you've got a piece of Pool Party cardstock that I have embossed for you using the Layering Leaves embossing folder. This is another 3D embossing folder, like the Pinewood Planks was 3D as well, but love that deep dimensional impression. So then you've got some of this gray granite textured woven ribbon, and you just want to wrap this around this panel here, this embossed panel, and adhere it to the back. And I am going to adhere it with some dimensional edge pieces because we're going to pop this layer up anyways. So I'll just adhere it with those. All right, so I've got my backings off of my dimensionals, and I'm just going to go ahead and center this up onto the front of the card. Now we can take our little bird layer here and also add some dimensionals to this, and I'm going to focus them in the top and bottom corners. This way it doesn't sit on top of our ribbon here. So let's see, I'm gonna put this on. So then I'm gonna take my sentiment and I am going to go ahead and adhere it on right about here. So I'll just put a little bit of snail on there and put that on right about there, and then I'm just going to bring in my snips, trim that off. Then in your kit you're going to have one of these bird ballad trinkets. So this is the leaf one, but you'll either have the leaf or you'll have the cute little bow or the flower, or this little antique key, or like I said, the leaf. So you'll have one of those included in your kit. I'm just going to grab my glue dots here, and I'm going to pop this on with, pop it on with a glue dot. Just throw it. Just going to put it on just like that. And there it is. That finishes up card number 3. And lastly, let's do our cute little gift box. So I am going to stamp my sentiment on this little piece of Whisper White. I've got Memento Tuxedo Black ink for my sentiment, and I am stamping the "Thanks for being you." You could choose something else if you wanted to. You could do the hello or whatever sentiment you want. Just gonna pop that right there. Ooh, looks good. Okay, so that's actually all of the stamping for this. So next you're gonna have a little piece that has some of the flower clusters. This is from the designer paper, and I've just cut these out. So you're just going to fussy cut or hand cut these out. You can hand cut as detailed as you would like. I am not gonna be too detailed, but I'm just gonna get these all cut out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, so I've gotten those all cut out, and you can see I wasn't exact in how I cut them out, but they look really cute, and I just left a little bit of a white edge and just got them cut out as best as I could. So now you've got one of our craft pillow boxes, so you can put whatever little treat you want inside of this box. So I'm just going to open it up. Now I'm not going to put a treat in right now because I don't have a treat yet. I don't even know who I want to use these for yet. But I'm just going to pinch in these little side openings, and I'm folding the one that has the finger groove. I'm folding that one on top. And then put that down just like that. Okay, so there we go. So cute. I love these pillow boxes. Then you've got some of this very vanilla scalloped lace trim. This is from that Bird Ballad suite. Love this trim. So I'm just going to, it's very dainty and delicate. So I'm just going to wrap this around and pull it to the front. And I'm actually kind of laying it in those little finger grooves here at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to wrap that around, and I'm just going to tie it in a very simple bow at the top of my box. And I'm not going to trim my ribbon down just because since I haven't put my goodie inside, I want to keep it to where I can open it back up and fill it up when I'm ready. Alrighty, so look at how beautifully it ties. It's so elegant, very feminine. I love it. So then I've got another piece of that Bird Ballad Designer Series paper, and I just die cut it using the stitched nested dies, and we are going to add our little flowers onto this die cut piece here. So I think I'm going to do it, I'm going to put them on like that. So I'm actually going to add these on with mini dimensionals. So let me just flip this over, throw on a mini dimensional, and pop that down right about there. Flip this over. How did I say I was going to do it? Yeah, I'll just put, I might put 2 on this one since it's bigger. Okay, and then I'll just throw that right there. And then I am going to put my sentiment, yeah, I'm going to put the sentiment kind of at an angle just like that. And I'll use a regular dimensional in the middle here. I'll just put that on. Oh, so cute. And then another dimensional or two on each end, and then you are going to lay it over your ribbon. This will also help keep the ribbon in place. Let me scoot this up a little bit. And then just flatten it on there really good. Make sure it's stuck down. And there you have it. A cute, simple, sweet little gift box treat package. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Thanks for being you. All right, there it is, you guys. There is my free as a bird free card kit when you place a minimum $40 order in my online Stampin' Up! Store, $40 before tax and shipping. Be sure to use the host code. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this kit. I absolutely love it. Definitely check out the Bird Ballad Suite in my online store. So many great products that coordinate with that suite, and we're using a lot of them here in the kit. So again, I hope that you have enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll be back soon with another tutorial. Bye now.